Welcome everybody, another episode of Earworm. Zach has got control tonight, so YMZ, Young Master Zachary, is going to take control. And we try to do that about once a month. I do an episode, Zach does an episode, and this is Zach's episode tonight. And Zach, want to kick things off. I think it's fairly interesting, and I think you have a bit of a surprise for me, my friend.
I went with a real badass
Here we
tonight.
go. Here
That's
we
why I
go.
wore the glasses to start. Yeah, anyway, so no, I talk to my mom every day on the way home from work. I'm a nice son, mama's boy. And I was talking about doing the podcast that night, and she was like, "Hey, you guys should talk about Pink." And I was like, "Wow, that would be great." Um, I know a little bit about her. Well, I don't know much about her. I know a lot about her music.
Hmm.
My mom, obviously, her favorite artist. So I grew up listening to that. I grew up listening to like Pink, Eminem, all that kind of stuff with my mom. So she was into that like kind of badass scene.
I,
But no, I grew up listening to that music and didn't really look into her as a person. I knew she was local. I knew you can hear from her music. She's got some demons that she lets out a little bit.
Well, absolutely, I agree with you.
So you get that from just listening to her as a not like a bystander, but if you know anything about her, you know it's very deep. The music that she writes is very deep. Um, but I looked into her a little bit, just a little background. If you don't know, again, we're from the Philly area. So she's local. She was born in Elkins Park and she grew up in Doylestown. She's
And
45 years old. So she grew up in the 80s in
yeah,
Philly, which is awesome.
yeah, she's born in 1979, so she's actually a little bit younger than me. And where'd she go to high school, Zach?
That I don't know.
She went to CV West.
CV West.
CB, Central Bucks West High School,
Okay.
right next to Doylestown proper.
That makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense. But no, she started her career. Obviously, like I said, she's 45. She started her career in 95.
yeah.
30 years. Who else started in 95? This boy right here. No, so she's been at it for a while, and if you look through her discography, it's all over the map. Like there's punk rock, there's R&B, there's pop, there's she does a little country. She's got I think a song with Kenny Chesney.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, she
so
did.
she
I think
uh,
she did a song recently with Jelly Roll, if I'm not mistaken.
like this year.
I think like fairly recently, within the last like 24 months. Like she's done a lot of work with other artists. I
So
mean,
that's the thing. Sorry to cut you off, but that's the thing that
no,
I like about her so much, her voice. Like it that so I watched it was an old V1 documentary from like 2000, I don't know, 6 or something. The graphics were horrible. Um, but it talked about her upbringing in that and how she went through the pop punk scene and the R&B, but the thing that always stood out was how her voice just was incredible and it had so much passion and you look at her first album or two, not to get so far ahead, but she didn't want to sing a couple songs that were on the first album. And then you get into the other albums deeper in her career and you really hear the passion come out, which is one of the songs we're going to talk about later. But it's just her voice stands apart from everybody, man.
oh, I completely agree. And one of the things that I wrote down, one of the things I have in my notes is there's some songs early on and later on. She has 9 albums that she put out, and that's just herself has put out. And one of the descriptors, one of the qualifiers that I had of her and I wrote down was operatic. She is some of those songs, man. She goes off like. you read about. Like it's a big freaking voice. It's impressive.
So you listen to her voice and it's very raspy, and she can do the calm stuff, but also the rock aspect. And one of her biggest influences was Linda Perry. And it, you listen to the two back to back, and they're pretty identical. But it's just the fact that she can go from very sentimental, to just real heartfelt, like soft music to just kind of, for lack of a better word, fuck you, kick rocks and belt it out. You know what I mean?
I
Like her
completely agree with
emotion,
you.
her emotions are like they're shown when she sings, but her emotions are so over the map. It's crazy to
Um,
look into all the songs.
it's funny, a lot of the critics that I was reading about this week, um, they talk about her like holding, I mean, to define it as a term, like holding a grudge and like somebody broke her heart back in the day. But like, I think that's pretty much across humanity, for goodness sakes. I mean, she's doing a really freaking good job. And I think one of the reasons that I have a takeaway about her, I mean, quite honestly, I mean, it's right up the road and like in Doylestown, for goodness sakes. I mean, she I have a question for you later, but I'm gonna keep it to myself about something to do with Philadelphia. But I mean, 9 albums. And I sat there listening on Apple Music and Amazon Music. There's not too many songs that came up of hers, and I'm talking 20 songs that I listened to. And I was familiar with those 20 songs. So I'm probably thinking like, and you can back me up here, maybe like 9 albums. That's probably 100 songs that she's put out, album wise.
Pushing it, pushing it. I'm terrible at math, but I mean, 9 times 12 or 13 or 14. No, let's go
That's
14. Nine times
not
14 is.
not at 9 times 12 is 108, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Hey, we're over the
Yeah,
100 mark. So, 9, 12 song albums. There you go, over the mark. That's pretty solid. And like I said earlier, she didn't want to sing a lot of those early songs. If you listen to the early albums, you'll hear some songs and you're like, what the hell is this? And
right.
then you start getting into I think 2006. What was it? I'm coming up, get this party started
Yeah,
when that came out.
that's probably one of her most famous songs. Get the party started. Hey, get
100%.
that party started. Yeah, yeah.
100%. But that's when she actually came, like her personality finally came out. Like that album, I off the top of my head, I don't know what it is, but that album is when she came out. Like she broke away from the industry kind of pushing towards, you got to put this song out, this song out. She made that album, then she came out with a couple others, and then she got to Funhouse. You listen to Funhouse, dude, that album is, sorry, no pun intended. That album is fun. Like she puts the instruments, the horns, the percussion. She puts all that stuff into it and just has fun with it. And she's always had that like kiss my ass attitude.
Oh
And
yeah.
from that one album of Get This Party Started or whatever it's called.
I think it's
Um,
called. I think that was her. I think the album was actually. I think it was called Pink. That was the one
yeah,
she came out. It was like 2 or 3 albums into her career, and then all of a sudden, boom! We're just gonna call one Pink.
yes. So, funny story ties to Philadelphia. So, she was so when she was younger, she didn't have a great upbringing. Her parents kind of um, grew apart a little bit and wound up getting divorced, and she got into
Yeah,
different friend groups and all that stuff. But she got into one friend group, and one of their favorite movies was Reservoir Dogs.
love that movie.
I'm not familiar with it from memory. I know I've seen it,
Okay.
but this one scene brought some memories back. It was Mr. White and Mr. Pink.
Mr.
So
Pink.
in that friend group, she was Mr. Pink.
Yeah.
So after after she went through the R&B um, entrance to the scene and kind of had to leave that group, she went to the what's he called? The guy that the record company, the guy in charge, and said, "I'm going on my own. I'm ready. I want to be Mr. Pink." And he was like, I don't think that's gonna work. And she said, "Okay, let's go with Pink." And there it is. But they went with Mr. Pink because if you watch the movie, he's
Love it.
got that ferocious, just
Mm, mm,
kick your
mm,
ass
mm, mm,
attitude.
mm, mm, mm,
So
mm.
the friend group made the name, and that's how it blew up. So that's kind of a cool tie back to Philly too, and her
Yeah.
friend group there.
That's that shows how old she is too. Like the Reservoir Dogs. My goodness, that came out like how many years before you were born? You young knucklehead. Oh my
I don't even know
goodness.
when that came out.
It was. I was stationed. I think it was in Long Beach at the time. So it was like 93, 94. I'm gonna say 94. I'll put that on there, and
Oh,
our listeners can rate me on that one. So. How many years before you were born was that there,
one or
YMZ?
two,
Oh,
one or
yeah.
two.
All right. For goodness
Um,
sake. Um,
so
go ahead. I'm sorry. This is your show today because
all
I am
you
impressed.
take
Yeah,
it to
but
me.
oh my goodness. One of the ones that stands out to me, one of the songs that stands out to me, and if you take a look at her background, if you take a look at her Wikipedia page, if you take a look at her, I mean, just go to the application and find her. She has done so many songs with so many artists. And I said earlier it was Jelly Roll, it was actually Rag and Bone Man with that one song, and it's really good. But one of the ones that stands out to me, and I completely forgot, was Lady Marmalade. Little Lady she was on that recording, and I completely forgot because I think there's a bunch of other artists who kind of take the onus more than she does. Dude, she's
I
done.
would disagree with you on that one there, Timmy.
Okay, because all right, because I'm wrong.
If you look back, it's Lil Kim, Maya, Pink, and Christina Aguilera.
Okay.
So at the time, Pink is kind of an afterthought in that
hmm
song, right?
hmm
For
That
when you
was the
think,
that was my implication. Perhaps I verbalized it incorrectly.
well, no, I guess I agree with you. So initially going into it, so the other three were in front. They were meant to be there, and Pink was, all right, this newcomer, let's put her in.
Right.
If you listen to that song, I mean, Christina Aguilera is incredible.
Oh
She's
my
great.
goodness. Yeah.
But think back at that point in Pink's career and think of the vocals on that track. She stands out by far of the four.
Oh.
She kills that song. So I don't want to say that's her best song because she's got a lot of individual songs, but god damn, that is some
So
good work.
I mean, quite honestly, like I'm doing my research and like I'm sitting there playing the songs because I had to travel for work this week, so it was kind of easy for me. And some of the songs that came up, and I was like, wow. And then Lady Marmalade came on. I was like, I completely forgot that Pink was even on that freaking song
Yeah.
because I thought of the other artists for goodness sakes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's natural. You got those other, like, think of today. You would have, or a couple years ago when it was, what was it? Lil Wayne, Drake, uh, who was it? Kanye and Eminem.
Yeah,
And it was Lil Wayne, Drake, Kanye in the front there. And then Eminem comes in. It was like, holy shit, blow it away.
yeah.
It's like same kind of deal there. It's like you didn't expect her to be the standout, but her vocals in that man just go far and beyond.
And she actually did. I can't remember the name of the song. There's so much going on here. She's got so much music. She did an actually individual single on an Eminem album with Eminem. I can't think of it right now. I gotta like look it up. It was really good. She sings the beginning of it, and he starts rapping, and she sings like I don't like the refrain, if you will. It's a
Oh,
very good
won't
song.
back
And
down.
okay, there you go. Thank you, sir.
Won't back down. It
There
was,
you go.
dude, and that too. I couldn't. So hearing that song, I don't know anybody else that could stand in that role in that song and make it work just because of how she sounds and the Eminem, and not to go on Eminem kick, but
Yeah.
he's got a lot of issues and past problems growing up and puts his passion into words. They're the same kind of person, and when you put them together, it's like, whoa.
Oh yeah, and we're probably going to do an Eminem song in the future. Actually, not a doubt because I'm a huge fan. Um, it's kind of when you kind of correlate the two, it's they have like some specific background like issues going on there. Like there aren't too many like super duper happy songs by Eminem. And there ain't too many super duper happy songs from Pink. And them sharing an individual single makes all the sense in the world in my mind, like artistically, for goodness sakes,
Yeah,
comprehension wise.
yeah, and I know I've said this in the past where a lot of bands have a way of having a deep song but making it sound kind of happy and like getting you to dance. They both have that too. And I think that's like we talk about it a lot. Maybe we're picking on all the artists, but that's an art.
Oh
Like
my goodness.
to make a sad song that you can also dance to if you don't really look into it. That's
That is a
you know what I mean?
that is a great descriptive qualification for a lot of her music because I mean a lot of it is like this is just me like an outsider, in my 50s. There's a lot of heartbreak in her songs, for goodness sakes.
There's a lot of heartbreak, but not for the cliche, like grab for a song, like, I had my heart broken and it's so from a young age, like you see all her friends talk in interviews and stuff. They said you always saw the passion in her voice. I'm using that word a lot, but that's her. That's what she's always been. She's always been kind of troubled growing up, and just that was her way of hiding from that and releasing it. And it's just it's different, man. Like, so the one song that really sticks out is Who Knew? And I don't know if you know it off the top of your head, but it's about losing one of her friends to an overdose,
Jeez.
and it at a young age too. So I don't she may
I
have
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
and that's
Uh,
one of those songs where if you listen to it, it's maybe you think about losing a family member just to old age or something. But when
right.
you look, and it's kind of another one of those songs, it's like, who knew? Like you could dance to it, but if you
Yeah.
look into it, it's like she's laying her emotions on the paper. And then it's you look further into it, it's about her friend that overdosed at a young age, and you look into the words, it's like, who knew in 5 years or whatever that you wouldn't be here type of lyrics. It's like, wow. And I think she wrote that in her like 20s.
Yeah, I mean, she's been around. She's been recording, if not mistaken, unless Wikipedia is completely false, and I'm just leaving it out there. She's been doing performances on her own or with like some sort of like group entity since she was like 14 or 15. It's pretty impressive. I mean, 9 albums is a lot. I think it's like almost double what the Beatles did for goodness sakes, if you call
Phew.
them like LPs. Like that is extremely impressive amount of music that she's done. I mean, it, I was take a step back. I was like super curious when you brought this up like a week ago or like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, we're gonna do Pink, and I was like, and then I started listening all week. There are so many of those songs that I was like, oh, I knew where I was when I heard that. Or there was like something related to like a TV show or a movie or like, yeah, it's extremely impressive. And to go back to what I said early on in the episode, like her voice, I mean, it's operatic sometimes. It's extremely impressive.
It's different, man. It's really different. I mean, it shows you why she signed a record label or a record deal at 16.
I know. Yeah,
And
I read all about that. In a Babyface.
so the funny thing is, I didn't know this. She was in a group called Choice,
Yep.
and they were labeled as the only white woman R&B group.
Yeah.
So when they went to the record label, the woman played it for the guy, and he was, or she said, "Yeah, this is three white girls from Philly," and he was like, "Get the hell out of here! No, it's not." And then 4 days later, they had a record deal. You could tell at an early age, and she didn't have any fears when she was performing either, like at some recital at school or whatever. And then you fast forward to her first concert, and she just owned it. She never had any fear. And that was always her. She always had that attitude, but it kind of bit her in the ass for a little bit there when she was in her teens and 20s or so. But then she really kind of brought it back in, kept that same kiss my ass attitude, but now kept it a little more kosher, I
And
guess.
yeah, and then closer to my heart, and then a lot of the description you read about her is that her performances over the years. I mean, she's been around a while now. I mean, 20 plus. I mean, it's almost a quarter century that Pink's been around, and it's kind of like someone my age, you got to take a step back and be like, wow, she's been around for a quarter century. Um, they talk about her physical attributes in the performances. Like she's doing trapeze and some sort of like gymnastic aspects of her like performances and like holy moly. Like I didn't even realize that. I mean, she's no joke when it comes to
So
like perform.
have you seen any of the performances live?
I've never seen her in.
Not like gone there, but seen like that trapeze act that you were talking about. Have you ever seen it?
I think if correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to say like somewhere around March 1st, 2018. And if she didn't do it March 1st, 2018, it was some other sort of NFL aspect.
Oh, at a little Super Bowl? Yeah, what are we talking about?
She did the national anthem.
Oh,
52, if I'm not
did
mistaken.
she? I thought that was Gaga.
I'm
Oh wow.
gonna look it up again, you bastard. I mean, you're checking me before you wrecking me?
Oh, now that we're talking about it, let's get into it.
All right. But she does like these trapeze things. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, and for our listening audience, for our listeners and our followers and stuff, my family had a gymnastic background, and I was a gymnast for a while. You might be surprised there, Zach. I might have to prove it to you.
Wow.
Uh,
Do some backflips at the bar the next time.
um, but I mean, supposedly she's doing these like crazy like swinging maneuvers
So
and
she is so you know those at like NFL games, the sky cam
mhm.
goes all over the place. So she is a sky cam, basically.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
pink.
wrapped around,
It's
oh
pink.
wow, out of bed. There you
Yeah,
go.
and she and supposedly she was sick at the time, and she's like, I mean, being from Doylestown, like she's just like, no, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it.
That's her style, man. I
Yeah,
mean, so you look at I don't know that she's ever canceled a show. I fact check me on that, but I don't see her doing that because
but like,
like all the stuff like her upbringing like you look at the stuff that she's doing. She's on that Skycam, the 360. She's fucking going all over the place and singing and staying on key. There's a video of some news reporter. Pink's laying down on the ground, and this news reporter's standing on her abs, and she starts singing. She's got like 120 pounds or whatever on her abs, and she's just supporting it and singing in key, just going. Like this woman had asthma as a kid.
oh, I know. I read that about her as well. Yeah, I
Like
read.
everything you think about this woman is like just powerful, man. She's nuts.
I just wish she grew her hair a little longer.
I don't know about that. That's, you know what? That's why she won't grow her hair longer.
Because of me? Okay, I'm okay with
And that's why I won't cut my hair. People
that.
like you.
Yeah. So, coming down to the end, I think it's pretty impressive, especially somebody my age. She, did you hear the story about her and Corey Hart? Did you read about that at all, or did you research that? That's
I
her
may know
husband
the
now.
story, but go
So
ahead.
he was doing that race, like some sort of like supercross race,
Hmm.
and she put on like the pit crew, like, "Will you marry me?" And he went by and continued on racing,
He was
and
like,
then
what the hell is that?
yeah, and then he continued on to another lap, and she wrote on there like, "Seriously."
That's awesome.
With all due respect to everybody involved, I love that. That is like
That's
me. I think I consider myself a quasi-romantic. That's kind of badass, man.
Well, that is what it is. It's badass. That's who she is. It's who else would think of to propose to the husband during his race at a pit crew? She's
Exactly.
fucking
And then,
badass.
I'm older than you, and Corey Hart was the freaking man. And when they got together, he was more famous than she was, and she did that. Like, holy moly, man.
She is who she is. You don't
Yeah.
like her? Fuck out.
I think Kate's gonna do something like that for you.
Mm.
Zach, let's wrapping things up. Any last thoughts? Like any sort of like craziness? Like I think this is the most research you and I done for an artist or a song so far in the podcast series. I think it's pretty freaking cool, man.
This was a deep dive, and I got to give a shout out to my mom, Michelle, for throwing this out there again on the phone. We were talking, she threw it out, "Hey, talk about Pink," and I said yes, 100%. And I couldn't think of a better artist because it was somebody that I grew up with but didn't know. And Timmy, I don't think you knew much about her at all. You knew a couple
I'm
songs, but you
oh
didn't know
yeah.
like really the
I,
deep songs or anything about her.
No, no, no. It was more high level stuff. She's out there in the news media and stuff like that, and like, being a music fan. But some of the stuff when I got more granular, it amazed me. She is extremely creative, and I'm glad. And your mom, Michelle, she owes me a hug because I met her once. So here we go.
Not a bad. There we go. If you could ever go see Pink, please do it, man. I
No,
mean, I watched a couple live performances of her, and it's just it'll hit you. It'll hit you hard. If you're not a fan of her, you'll be a fan. If you are a fan of her, you won't regret it.
I'll tell you right now, if you buy heart, if you like actually are an intuitive, if you just like music, take a listen to her songs. They hit you, man. Regardless of whether you like her on a personal level, dude, they are like there's so many of them. I was like, oh my god, I heard this before. I remember this from this movie. It was fairly impressive. Last thoughts. Gonna say goodbye.
Again, thanks, Mom. Love you, Pink. To both of you, that's for you.
For me.
No, for them. And this one's for you, Tim.
I'm glad you used the left hand on that one there. All right, YMZ, you're the man, sir.
See you, everybody.